Hi, I'm Corey Weatherton, Director of Product Development here at Entegra Coach, and I'm excited to show you today the brand new 2025 Entegra Coach Esteem. Now, before we get inside, I know once we're inside, a lot of you may wonder, now what floor plan is that? This is the 31F Entegra Coach Esteem. Now, for those of you who are moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, or just like taking along a whole boatload of people, this is our bunkhouse model, so you get a good feel for what that is like. Granted, we do have other floor plans if this floor plan is not for you. Some of the things I want to do today briefly is just point out what makes Entegra Coach, but then also what makes our Entegra Coach Esteem such a great buy for you. First and foremost, I want to point out our warranty. It is a 2+3 warranty. You may not know this, but the industry standard on warranties is just simply a 1-year limited warranty. Entegra Coach is the only manufacturer that gives you 2 complete camping seasons. Why do we do that? First of all, because we know we build a quality product. Quite honestly, if we knew that our product had some defects, it would cost us money by giving you 2 years of warranty, we'd be just like everybody else, status quo, and give you a 1-year warranty. But we know you are dropping hard-earned money to buy this Entegra Coach Esteem, and so we are giving you 2 complete years so that you know that we stand behind our product. You know, one of the things that allows us to do that is our front overhead bunk. You know, I think our engineers do an incredible job here at Entegra Coach. Our front overhead bunk is rated at 750 pounds. And as a result, the industry standard is just simply 425 to 450. So we go over and above in that area. Another area we go over and above is our one-piece fiberglass front cap. Now, folks, this is a big deal to you as an end user. I don't know if you know this or not, but Class Cs are notorious for leaking water in a seam that we've covered up right here horizontally. Where the sidewall meets the bunk platform, every other manufacturer has a visible exposed seam there, and that is the #1 leak point on a Class C. The question isn't, will it leak? But the question is, when will it leak? So we know that here at Entegra Coach, so we are building this to a higher standard. So our one-piece fiberglass front cap covers that whole exposed seam that everybody else has, just simply so that you don't get water infiltration. As you know, water is the #1 enemy of motorhomes, travel trailers, and fifth wheels. So we've done our due diligence and we've covered that up for you. So the structure's there, and we slide this fiberglass cap on just like a rubber glove on a hand. When I was a kid and I'd go over to my grandma's house, her dishwater was so hot and she'd have me help with dishes. I hated sticking my hands in there. One day, I was blessed because she had some rubber dishwashing gloves and I could stick my hands in there. My hands were protected from that hot water. That's what this cap does. It protects your motorhome from water infiltration. Cool thing about this cap is we do have a panoramic window in the front of the cap. That panoramic window has been through multiple testing. Folks, it does not leak. It would make 0 sense for us as a manufacturer to install this one-piece fiberglass front cap. And quite frankly, this is a very expensive component on our motorhome. So it makes 0 sense for us to install that window knowing it would leak. That window is actually installed just like this chassis windshield is. We have about a 1/4 inch recess, 3/4 inch lip. We put a brand of sealant around it that as it cures, it never fully gets hard. So as this, same as this chassis, so as this chassis goes around, it buffets a little bit, goes down the road, and as a result, this windshield is allowed to flex with their sealant in the same way our window is allowed to flex with our sealant. So we went through multiple testing. We've been doing this, I believe, since ballpark 2017 model year. And to date, we've had 0 issues with water infiltration and water warranty. So super excited about that. Why do I love that feature? Simply because when I go camping to be outside and to experience the great outdoors. You know, some of us are living in subdivisions, maybe cities. And so as a result, we want to get out in nature. When I'm inside this motorhome, that window lets so much light in. But the great thing about it is if I'm down in Arizona and it's hot, I can use my power shade and I can cover that window and it will block out the heat and the UV rays. So this front cap is an Entegra coach difference. I wanted to point that out to you. It is absolutely incredible. So going back to the warranty, I know that was a long rabbit trail. The 2-year warranty, twice the industry standard, plus a 3-year structural. Folks, don't get fooled by a big 4 or a big 8 on a window or a big whatever number simply because their warranty is still simply a 1-year limited warranty, meaning everything they build or put into this will only have 1 year. We give you 2 years. Second thing we're doing that's unique is we're installing a cat strap on all of our E450 gas chassis. That is important to you simply because, unfortunately, this day and age, there is a great mega theft ring stealing catalytic converters, and we want to make sure that when you're ready to go camping, you filled up the fridge, you have filled up the storage areas on the inside with clothing, board games, cornhole, fill in the blank, that as soon as you turn that key, you're going to be able to go. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, catalytic converter theft is a big deal, and we are the only manufacturer that's installing a theft deterrent on our catalytic converters. This not only helps our dealers be able to deliver these motorhomes to you in a timely fashion, but it allows you as the end user to ensure that when you want to go camping, you can go camping. Another thing that we're doing unique is this Easy Drive Elite system. At Entegra Coach, our goal is to be the quietest riding, best handling motorhome at each price point. So we are spending dollars on suspension components that nobody else is doing, and with Entegra Coach, that is standard. You don't have to option it, you don't have to do it aftermarket. It is included in our base price. So what does that involve? On this coach, it involves Koni FSD shocks, frequency selective dampeners. So it is a shock that gives you both comfort and stability. So if you take the clover leaf too hard, it'll only allow a little hydraulic fluid through to give you that stability. If you hit a big pothole in the road, it gives you comfort. It absorbs that shock that you would experience from the road. So that is a great feature for you. Also, on the rear of this coach, Hellwig helper springs. That's going to allow you to use the true 7,500 pound towing capacity that this E450 has. Don't get fooled by an 8,000 pound hitch or even think that this can only do 5,000 pounds. This E450 will do 7,500 pounds. Now the key thing is every trailer, the cargo trailer, flatbed, towing trailer, horse trailer, has a 10% ratio between the GVW of that trailer, gross vehicle weight rating of that trailer, and also the tongue capacity. So if a trailer is rated at 7,000 pounds, that tongue capacity is 700 pounds. We are the only manufacturer that allows you to safely tow 7,500 pounds, and part of that is due to our Hellwig helper springs. Now we do other things, I won't go into that in this setting, however, but the Hellwig helper springs help with your tow capacity and then also help a little bit with your side-to-side stability. Also on this coach, we are removing the rear forward stabilizer bar and putting an 1.5 inch stabilizer bar on it. What does that do for you? It increases the stability by approximately 62%. That component alone eliminates 62% of the side-to-side rocking and sway that you experience, whether going down the road or if you accidentally hit that curb at the gas station, it'll help you out with that. Also on this coach, on the front and rear of the rear axle, we're installing rubber isolation mounts. Those rubber isolation mounts come to us from Ford. They align the frame rail. Ford has installed those to reduce road noise and vibration. We're the only OE manufacturer reinstalling those in the rear of this coach. Everybody else takes them off the frame rail and they get rid of them aftermarket. We reinstall them because we think that Ford knew what they were doing in installing them. Also, a computer balanced drive shaft. When we stretch this chassis, we go from a 2-piece drive shaft to a 3-piece drive shaft. We rebalance all 3 drive shafts together. In doing that, we eliminate a lot of the white background noise inside of this coach. Every other manufacturer, they'll balance 2, balance 1, put it together, call it good. I guarantee that as you drive their coaches, you're not going to experience any vibration or shake or shimmy as you're driving. However, it will be louder than ours. Why is that? Because sound is accentuated in enclosed spaces. When I was a kid, my folks told me when we went to Florida that if I stick a seashell up to my ear, I will hear the ocean. Kids, I hate to say this, if there's kids watching, go to your mom and dad and question them about this. Sound is accentuated in enclosed spaces. So that seashell was only allowing that sound to reverberate and get louder. This motorhome is like that seashell. Sound is accentuated inside of here, but we have found as we do that computer balanced drive shaft, all three pieces as one, we've eliminated a lot of white background noise inside. So I would encourage you, get down to your local dealership if you're looking for a motorhome, ask to take this for a test drive. Test drive somebody else's. I am not at all afraid of that. Test drive another manufacturer's motorhome and then drive the Esteem. And I can guarantee you nothing will drive as well as this Entegra Coach Esteem. So the 2+3 warranty, the cat strap, the Easy Drive Elite system, those are some of the things that we're doing differently. Now, what makes this Esteem an Esteem? Let's do a quick external walk around of this, and then we'll go inside and check out the inside. First and foremost, you need to understand that we do have side cameras and a rear backup camera. This coach is very comfortable for you to drive. I know this one, being a 31F, is 32 feet 6 inches long. It's 100 inches wide. It can feel a little bit intimidating, especially if you've never driven anything like this or potentially driven a larger vehicle pulling a trailer behind. But at the same time, we've made this as easy and safe as possible for you to drive as an end user. So you're gonna love that aspect of it. You're gonna see integrated fiberglass running boards as well as this integrated fiberglass wing. Both of these are going to help with the longevity of the coach, and this side wing will help with it with fuel economy, but then also wind noise as well. Going back to coach, you will see that we have an exterior entertainment center. This exterior entertainment center is extremely nice. Let's turn the knobs the right way so I can open it. You do have a 32-inch smart television. Nice thing about this is you can stream any of these apps that are shown on here as well as other apps, and that is a great feature. But one of the new things for this year is all of our sound is JBL premium audio. After 6 months of ownership, if a customer owns this for 6 months, we send out a survey. Hey, what do you love about the coach? What improvements would you like to see in the future? One of the things we've read is that when you're buying a luxury coach like this Entegra Coach Esteem, a lot of customers are wanting high-end products. They're wanting high-end components rather than just standard RV industry cheap components. And so with that, we have made the switch on the majority of our Entegra Coach products, switch to this premium JBL audio system, so that as you're tailgating, as you're potentially watching a race on a Sunday afternoon, you've got great audio out here. It doesn't sound hollow, doesn't sound tinny. It is going to be absolutely incredible for you. So this is brand new for this year. You'll see the side of this coach. The side of this coach is our standard partial paint graphics package. New for this year, we do also option paint schemes, which we have in the past, but our paints this year are brand new for model year 25. So I wanted to say that if you are interested in finding out what those paints look like, make sure you go to our website, integracoach.com, and check those out. We do have paint renderings of those, or also do a quick Google search. A lot of dealers do bring these in painted just simply because they look so stunning. And like I said, it is a luxury coach. And so for a lot of you, you want that look. At the same time, this partial paint, I think, looks absolutely beautiful. You'll pull into the campgrounds and nobody will think that you, hate saying this, nobody will think you cheaped out simply because you went with the partial paint and graphics. It looks very good. New paint schemes for this year. You'll notice that we do have frameless windows on this. The frameless windows are great because they protect your seals from the UV rays. The seals are hidden behind this window, this UV protected tinted glass. So as a result, it is not a potential leak spot for water. Your framed windows, with time, the UV rays will bake those and it will be a future leak spot. Speaking about future leak spots, I want to talk about our sidewalls, our roof, and our floor. All of those are vacuum bonded. What does that mean? First, I'll tell you an analogy from when I was a kid. I like telling stories, and apparently if you're watching this long, you'll say, Corey, this is your third story. It's how I learn, it's how I understand, so that's how my brain is. If it doesn't work for you, just skip forward about 30 seconds and then we'll talk about the vacuum bonding. When I was a kid, I would come home from school and I have an art project, and a lot of times it involved construction paper. You know, we all know the construction paper that is easy to tear, et cetera, et cetera. Had to glue two pieces together. So I'd smear paste on it or potentially Elmer's glue, get all the glue evenly spread, put the next piece of construction paper on top, or potentially it was photos I was putting on for an art project, and I would just leave it. My mom would say, hey, Corey, go grab that encyclopedia and set it on top. We had set it on top overnight. I would come back in the morning, take the encyclopedia off, and hopefully my glue didn't spill onto the encyclopedia, and it'd be a clean takeoff. And that construction paper or photos were actually adhered very strongly, evenly across the board. Now with our sidewalls, we vacuum bond these. So what does that mean? We spread adhesive over every component in our sidewalls, our roof, and our floor. We put it all together like a sandwich. We send it into a vacuum press, 144 tons of pressure, for 16 to 18 minutes, depending on what we're laminating, and then we leave it there. And then when it slides out the other end of that machine, we have a strong, solid, evenly consistent bond throughout the whole sidewall, roof, and floor. So it's very much like when I was a kid. Now, what's key to note is our lamination facility where we do our walls, roof, and floor. It's all temperature and humidity controlled. So it doesn't matter if it's the middle of summer here in Middlebury, Indiana, and it's 95 degrees with 98% relative humidity, or if it's in the wintertime at 6 degrees and maybe 15% humidity, we are getting the exact same lamination process every time. When these sidewalls come out of the machine, we take our window cutouts and we put those into a delamination machine. So that delamination machine will take these cutouts and will actually shred the wall apart, that portion of the wall. What we're looking for is shredding. We want to see the components shred. If the components shred, we know that the adhesive worked, the vacuum bonding was consistent throughout, and as a result, we've got a good solid wall. Now, because it's temperature and humidity controlled, and we have the exact same process on the exact same walls, roof, floor, across the board, folks, rarely will we ever find a cutout that was not laminated well. If by chance we do, we recycle the wall, we recycle the roof, or we recycle the floor, and then we will start over on that. So that's a key thing to note, is our checks and balances here at Entegra Coach, because we are building a luxury product, is very high. So our vacuum bonding lamination to you as the end user is a big deal. On the roof of this, we do have a complete fiberglass roof, fully walkable, not weight rated. Before I became Director of Product Development here at Entegra Coach, I was a regional sales manager. I had a sales territory. I was essentially a wholesaler. So I had part of Canada as my territory. I've seen up in Saguenay, Quebec, or Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. If you don't know where those are, Google them. They're extreme north. There's been a lot of snow on these roofs, and it's held up to it. So fully walkable, solid sheet of fiberglass. What I love about that is we do a radius on our edges so we get proper snow and water runoff. Every other manufacturer will just have essentially a butt joint there, and it is potential for water infiltration. So we are doing everything we can to keep water outside of this coach. So that's our vacuum bonding lamination. That's our fiberglass roof. On the roof as well, this coach comes standard with 15,000 BTU air conditioner with a heat pump, or you can option it to dual 13.5s, no heat pump. On the roof, there's a 200-watt solar panel. It comes with a second house battery and a dual controller. That dual controller will make sure that we're sending power to the house battery and the chassis battery, so that when you go to start the key, you've got power there. So that's important. It's a great feature for you as the end user, and that's standard. You don't have to option it. Also on the roof, we have a WineGuard 2.0 Connect. What is that? Is a Wi-Fi range extender and also 4G LTE hotspot. The Wi-Fi range extender works when you are at the campgrounds and you're parked further away from the campground office. It'll grab that weak signal, intensify it, and then you have a great hotspot inside, or potentially at your favorite coffee shop or restaurant they have free Wi-Fi. You can sit in the parking lot and have a strong signal and work inside the coach. Now that 4G LTE hotspot is a paid feature. So that is a part of that WineGuard 2.0. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. You don't have to pay for it if you don't want to. But through WineGuard or your cell provider, you can get a subscription and use this as a mobile hotspot driving down the road. That way you don't have to tether your laptop to your computer or any of your smart TVs inside or outside the coach to your phone. You can have a mobile hotspot going down the road. So that's the roof of this coach. Coming back, you will notice in this coach, we have a 6-gallon gas electric hot water heater. I say you'll notice it if you're familiar with motorhomes. Right there. 6-gallon gas electric hot water heater, rapid recovery. So it will run off of your fixed onboard propane tank or your generator or your shore power. Great thing about this is I can run it off of both propane and electricity, and it goes into rapid recovery mode. At that point, this 6-gallon hot water heater will produce approximately 18 gallons of hot water in an hour. And if you're a seasoned camper, you know that that is an excessive amount of water. Folks, this is not a lower end on-demand hot water heater. I want to point that out. This is tested, tried and true. I hate saying this, but it's true. It's old technology and it's very simple and reliable. Reliability is the key. During COVID, we were having to sub out parts, as you know, because the supply chain within the industry was not that great. We did try on-demand hot water heaters because they were available. We brought them in for testing, and the reliability of those, for the most part, was not great at all. We were getting temperature fluctuations as we were turning on different faucets. The recovery time, if you're using too much hot water, it wasn't there. So as a result, we're sticking with this because it works, it's reliable, and it'll be consistent for you as the end user. And that's the key thing. We want you to know what you're getting. So you'll notice that we do have a full length awning on this 31F. It does have integrated LED lights. What I love about those integrated lights is they provide me a lot of visual something. It allows me to see when I'm outside the coach, right? When I'm camping, whether I have my picnic table out here or potentially a 4-foot white table and I'm playing cards on it, it allows me to see as we get into dusk and evening. And then also it just provides nice curb appeal as we're driving past the campsite, being able to see those LED lights. You will notice that we didn't talk about it, but thus far we've had 2 smaller storage compartments. Here we've got a longer, narrow one. And then in the rear, we have a massive storage compartment. Check that out, folks. There is a lot of room in there for you to be able to store your camp chairs, your sleeping bags, absolutely anything that you would like to. These are all rotocast compartments. What that means is they're very durable, they will not rust, and then also easy to clean out. If we come around the back side of the coach, you will notice that we do have the rear backup camera, as I mentioned, but then also you're going to notice brake lights on the side and an overhead brake light. That overhead brake light is a safety thing for us. At Entegra Coach, we are concerned about your safety. So as folks are following you, if you are towing that flatbed car on the rear, these side brake lights could be obstructed. So we give you that overhead brake light just simply so folks have enough time to stop. We're concerned about your safety. Still speaking about safety, what I love about this coach is there's a seat belt in every seating position. That's standard. By law, in rear-facing dinettes, we're not required to install seat belts. However, if a coach like this will sleep 8 people, in my mind, it sure in the world better seat belt 8 people as well. If not, you're gonna have to choose 2 unlucky people who do not get a seat belt. And that is a horrible place to be, especially if an accident were to happen. So safety is a big concern with us. As I already mentioned, tow capacity 7,500 pounds with a vertical tongue capacity of 750 pounds. One of the things I would encourage you to do if you're looking at other manufacturers, get underneath this coach and look at the Ford OE frame rail as it extends back. Every other manufacturer will use a piece of plate steel, just a vertical piece of plate steel where they attach to the frame rail. It'll taper back to the rear. With Entegra, we are using Ford OE specs frame rail all the way to the back. Now what that does is it does increase the overall dry weight of this coach by a little bit. However, it is a safety thing. We can handle the 10% ratio that your trailer will have. And so make sure you look at everybody else, look at ours. I can tell you ours are built differently. So this has been an external walk around of this Entegra Coach 31F. Esteem, let's go inside and check it out. Alrighty folks, so we are inside the Entegra Coach Esteem 31F, and as I mentioned on the outside, after 6 months of ownership, we get feedback from current users. That's the key thing, folks who use our motorhomes. But then also, while I'm at shows during show season, which generally is January through April, I'll hear customers frequently talk about what they're seeing in other motorhomes, what they dislike in other motorhomes. And brand new for this model year 2025, based upon customer feedback, we changed our head unit. So in the industry, this is called a head unit infotainment center, or you can just simply call it a radio if you'd like. What we've changed about this is we've switched to a 10.1-inch screen, and it has an anti-glare covering on it, anti-glare coat on it. And recognize, folks, this is still the Sony name brand. We've been using Sony for the last couple years. As I mentioned, when you're buying a luxury coach, you want to make sure you've got quality name brand components inside of it. And so we stuck with Sony. It's done a great job for us. This is a Sony, and I want to point that out because it's a name brand that we know and love at home frequently. So on this, it not only is larger with the anti-glare, but the great thing about this is I can turn it towards myself, or maybe my passenger wants to be the navigator, and I could turn it towards them. The great thing about this, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and so I can have the screen towards myself as I'm driving, while the passenger is actually utilizing the same screen on their phone. So whether you use Waze or Google Maps or fill in the blank with whatever you use, the driver has a great view. There's nothing more annoying, and I hate saying this, but we have a demo fleet here at Entegra Coach. I hate when I'm not able to see my navigation because I'm driving these things, right? When I drive my truck, I want to make sure I can see my screen. Same with this. So we switched to this. It is more expensive, but like I said, it's a name brand, 10.1 inch. It tilts, has some great features for you, as I already mentioned, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. So that's new for this year. I want to point that out. As I mentioned, as you're taking this for a test drive down at the dealership to experience the ride and handling, don't forget about the screen. Don't forget to look at that because I know you'll love it. It has been a great addition. Over Memorial Day weekend, I took one of our demo motorhomes out for this model year of 2025. It had this screen in it, and I absolutely loved it. It is a great screen. Sounds trivial, folks, but you spend a lot of time behind the wheel when you're driving your motorhome. And so rather than you having to change it out because you hate it in the future, we've given you exactly what you want. So that is the front end of this coach. Let's move more towards the rear of the coach. As we come into the rear of the coach, wait, before we do that, I want to, sorry about this. Sorry, Brittany, filming this. But I wanted to point out our JBL audio system. As I said, inside and outside, we've switched to JBL Premium across the board. So depending on the floor plan, you'll either get this JBL Aura soundbar, or you'll get a JBL Aura Cube. So depending on the floor plan. So the soundbar is connected to the television. It's also Bluetooth. You can stream your favorite music app through your phone onto that, and it will give you incredible sound throughout this coach. Some of our floor plans, as I mentioned, you'll get the Aura Cube. Frequently that is mounted here on the wing bunk wall right here, and then with that you'll get JBL speakers inside the coach. So whether you have the Aura Cube with JBL speakers or the Aura soundbar, that is floor plan dependent. So I wanted to point that out because they're, again, just raising the game. As we come back into the main area of the coach, and this time I'm serious about that, I'm not going to go to the front again, you will notice that new for this model year, we have a new decor. So our balance has changed, our sofa color changed, our stitching within everything changed. So that is new for this model year. I want to point that out to you. Also, a great thing about this is our oversized cabinet doors and drawers. You'll notice that we've oversized our cabinet doors and drawer fronts to reduce the visible styles. A lot of times in motorhomes, you'll have a big visible cabinet face frame. That's essentially the easy way to call a style. A cabinet face frame that's fully exposed and it looks like just an old motorhome. And so we wanted to make this look more residential. So you'll notice all of these, we've reduced the visible styles by oversizing our door fronts and drawer fronts. And what I love about that is it does feel residential. In this 31F, we will option theater seats. That's brand new for this model year. So in our 31F, Esteem and our 27U Esteem, we now option theater seats. So just be aware that that's an option for you. As I already mentioned, seatbelt in every seating location. So this coach will comfortably and safely seatbelt 8 people. Moving back, you'll see solid surface countertop, dual basin sink. Now this does come with sink covers, so this can become a work area. Then also the side countertop extension. We did this a couple years ago, so it's not new. We do have our wireless charging ports in our kitchen and our bedrooms, and then this happens to be a USB and 120 volt tower as well. This standard in this coach is going to be a 10 cubic foot 12 volt refrigerator. What I love about this 12 volt refrigerator is how quickly it cools down. This is a great feature for you. In the past, we were using 8 cubic foot gas electric refrigerators, and it was the exact same cavity size, and they were only 8 cubic feet. Now with this guy with a 12 volt, we were able to increase the size of it to 10 cubic feet. Folks, imagine how many boxes of fish sticks you can get in there. You can fit a whole lot in there. And then down here, you can get your gallons of milk. If you want to put your fresh roasting chickens in there, you can. Your Cornish game hens, that's a favorite of mine. Who buys Cornish game hens? Maybe you do, and if you do and take them camping, I'm excited for you because you are a great cook. We do option in some of our floor plans a 15 cubic foot 12 volt refrigerator, and like I said, what I love about them is the reliability and how quickly they cool down and the sizes of them. We can get a 15 now, before we could only give you a 12. At Entegra Coach, we were honestly one of the holdouts on moving to a 12 volt refrigerator, simply because we wanted to make sure that the industry had the kinks worked out of it, and we wanted to make sure that you're getting reliability. Remember, when you buy a luxury coach, you expect this thing to work and work for a long time. So we were a holdout for a while. We've moved to it. The testing's been proven, and I love it. Now, when you get the larger refrigerator, the 15 cubic foot, you do lose the pantry on this side. So you're gonna have to decide, in a bunkhouse model, is pantry space more important or refrigerator space? So I want to point that out to you, because I think that is something that you do need to wrestle through. This coach, the Entegra Coach Esteem, is powered by the BM Pro multiplex system. This is a whole house control. And so what I love about this is I can control it from my campsite, the HVAC system, the slides, the lights, pretty much everything from the campsite. If I'm outside by the fire and it's starting to get cool, and I know that I have not turned my furnace on inside of my coach yet, from my app, I can just simply turn on my furnace and control everything. Now, just so you know, this is an Android-based tablet. So as a result, when you turn on your 12 volt power to your coach, there is a little bit of a startup time on this. It cycles through like any tablet would, probably about 30 seconds or so. But that's where these manual buttons down below come in play. So this side arrow, I can push it. Slide, S stands for slide, slide 1, OF, PA, awning 1. So a lot of manual features here that you're able to go ahead and extend, retract, and get the coach set up. And then light number 1 is your master light switch on the inside. So just as this is booting up, it's still fully functional. This system, this coach does come with a power control system. What I love about that is this is a 30 amp coach, and we're able to do dual 13,500 BTU air conditioners if you choose. Why is that important to you as the end user? Because honestly, campgrounds have limited 50 amp sites generally, and as a result, they're going to be more expensive. So we're able to do a 30 amp coach with dual ACs. This is the brains behind the system. It sounds pretty, what I'm getting ready to communicate sounds pretty complicated, but I promise it's not. This thing's smart enough to know it's Friday night and it's 90 degrees outside with high humidity, and both air conditioners are on. It knows it's Friday night, so that's family movie night. And it knows that popcorn is part of family movie night. So I come over to this large residential size microwave. As soon as I hit start, this power control system recognizes that. It shuts off the rear compressor, allows my bag of microwave popcorn to pop, and then as soon as that dings, this cycles through, and about 30 seconds later, it'll turn on my rear air conditioner. So this is how we're able to do a 30 amp coach that's more cost effective for you as the end user, and it's this power control system. Like I said, it's extremely reliable. I regularly, my office area is next to our customer service. I will regularly go over to customer service and ask how certain components are performing for us, and this power control system is never an issue. They never bring it up. And so as a result, we've stuck with it. We've used this for a number of years, extremely reliable. You will notice we have a 3-burner propane cooktop here. And with this 3-burner propane cooktop, it does have a cast grate on top. It's not going to be cheap extruded metal. And so as a result, you won't get rattles, and it'll be a very safe place for you to put your heavy pasta pans as you're boiling water and making pasta. Now, as we look down into the oven, this is a traditional RV oven. So with that, you will be able to put pizzas in there. You'll be able to put breakfast rolls, or just fill in the blank. You guys are using these things, so you know what you're going to put in. So it is a great combination. But this residential size microwave, what I love about this is I'm able to heat up a family size casserole inside of it, and as a result, the family is able to eat at the same time. It's not a small microwave that I'm going to have to do multiple reheats on this, rather just one, and we can all eat together. Speaking of that, of eating together, with Entegra Coach, we do have this exclusive legless dinette. I absolutely love this because I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm not doing the majority of the cooking, but generally I have to sit by the window when it's time to eat. And so I can slide underneath, and you'll notice that underneath there is not a horizontal knee knocker bar that other brands of dinettes will give you. So I can slide over to the edge. I'm taller, 6'3", and there's not a knee knocker underneath. So there's no pain in right before dinner starts. Also, what I love about this is it's very stable. We used to use a brand that had a lever here at the end to lock it in place. The problem with that was after use that there would be some play inside of this countertop. So it wouldn't be uncommon for me to sit down for dinner, put my elbows on here because I have poor posture at a table, just to be honest with you, and it would drop down about an inch. With this legless dinette that we've been using a number of years, it's very sturdy. There's no drop down in it, and it also converts into a bed. So this is a great feature that I love inside of this coach. Seems trivial, but at the same time, it's a nice convenience for you as the end user. And like I said, in this quality of coach, you should expect it. Let's move back into the bathroom area. This is our 31F, as I mentioned. So in this, you do get a nice radius shower that is ample size with a skylight overhead. In all of our Entegra Coach Esteems, you do have a porcelain toilet with a foot flush. And then you'll notice inside the bathroom as well that we have continued that oversized cabinet doors and drawers. All of our fixtures, our faucets, our sinks, etc., they're all brushed stainless in this coach, so you're not going to find any plastic. Nice sized bunks back here. You will notice that we do have a cargo net for kids or adults. I don't know why I'm stereotyping here. Kids or adults to be able to put their books in, their games in, etc. And then also tablet holders on the other end with a coax cable and 120 volt outlet, being able to charge those tablets as they're being used. Bank of drawers down below, so plenty of storage for the kids' clothes. Nice close-off curtains. As we come back into the bedroom, you will notice that we have a walk-around queen-size bed. And as I mentioned, we do have wireless charging on both sides of nightstands, but then also you pop them up as the current position they're in, and you can charge your phone via USB. Both sides there are 120 volt outlets, and then you'll notice on the one side closest to the bathroom that we do have a bank of cabinet drawers there. Nightstand drawers, essentially. You're able to put valuables in or those things that you want to be able to access while you're in bed. Over the bed, a nice sized bank of overhead cabinets. There are no dividers in those, so as a result, you can put longer items in it to pass through, or you can just fill that full of your bedding or more clothing space. And you'll notice on the foot of our bed, we do have a 24-inch smart television with storage behind it, and then a bank of drawers down below, and then a very large wardrobe for a bunkhouse model for you to be able to put your hanging clothes in. So this has been an inside look of the Entegra Coach Esteem 31F, and I want to thank you for watching today. As mentioned, I'm Corey Weatherton, Director of Product Development here at Entegra Coach. And again, thank you so much for your time today. I know this video is a little bit longer, but at the same time, we have to point out what makes Entegra Coach, and also the Esteem. For more information on this coach, contact your local dealer. If you don't know who that is, go to our website at integracoach.com. We do have a dealer locator on that. You just enter your zip code and it'll tell you who your closest dealer is. As I mentioned, get down, drive this, put your hands on it, feel the quality of it, notice the difference between us and everybody else. Now, if you have more technical questions that maybe your dealer cannot answer, always feel free to call us here at the factory. Here's some key things I'm going to tell you when you call. Give them your name. Give them your state or province you live in, and ask to speak with a regional sales manager because you're interested in finding out more information about this Entegra Coach Esteem. Key thing is Entegra Coach Esteem, zip code, provincial code, or even I should say, regional sales manager. Quite honestly, folks, there's one of me and there's a lot of you who watch these videos. I cannot, unfortunately, return every phone call. So speak with one of our regional sales managers. They are well-versed in this product. They know the technical aspects of it. If you do stump them with a question, which happens from time to time, they will tell you, let me get with one of our engineers, let me get with production, and I'll get back with you right away. We love answering questions. Speak with one of our regional sales managers for that. Again, Corey Weatherton, Director of Product Development here at Entegra Coach. Thanks for watching this video. Get down to a dealership, take it for a test drive. I guarantee you're going to love it.